Hey monkeys, Monkey Dan here. Today I want to talk about the benefits of an overhead setup. And one of my favorite things to do is take my monkey bars, get outside, explore, and find that perfect monkey workout location. And so for me, there's really two main benefits of the overhead setup. Number one is an increased ability to scale exercises. And number two is because of that increased ability to scale exercises, I'm able to go through more range of motion. And so I wanted to look at 7 classic monkey exercises to demonstrate this point and hopefully help you guys get a little bit more out of your monkeying. So the first exercise, the body saw. This is a super hard exercise. It feels, every time I do it, it feels like my abs are getting ripped in half. What I like about doing this with the overhead setup is my feet can go behind or past the anchor point, which it's gonna take a little bit of weight off my upper body, and it's also gonna allow me to go through a lot more range of motion and get a little bit more volume in for this exercise. And so as you can see here, I can pull myself way in front and then extend way behind my anchor point. And especially if you find this exercise really difficult, try this setup out. The closer your arms are to that anchor point above you, the easier it's gonna get, and vice versa. Second exercise I wanna talk about is the tuck. Again, killer ab exercise, but such a classic. So if we can get our feet directly underneath the anchor point or even a little bit behind, it's gonna make it a little bit easier and maybe allow you to get a little bit more volume and just do more. Conversely, if I pull myself in front of the anchor point, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, make it more challenging. Next logical step from there is the wild push-up. So this is one of my favorite monkey exercises. It's a push-up and tuck combined. So when I have the overhead setup, my feet can be directly underneath. I'm gonna do my push-up and then my tuck. I like it as well because I'm able to get a little bit more range, get my knees higher up on my chest. If you find this really difficult, if you get your feet behind that anchor point, it's gonna make it a little bit easier, might help you kind of add some more volume there. Mountain climbers. Who doesn't love climbing mountains? So with the mountain climber, if I'm too far in front of the anchor point, I find it hard to get full range of motion, get all the way to my elbow. But if I can set up directly underneath, I'm able to get a lot more range and I just feel the exercise more. And then getting on top of the bars now. So I'm facing down, holding the bars with my hands, doing a classic push-up. I love this setup, especially if you're looking to get a little bit more intensity or difficulty out of the push-up exercise. Having that set up and being where it's hanging directly underneath the anchor point, it's gonna make the exercise much more difficult. And conversely, if you're still working up to that point, all you have to do is walk forward a little bit. You can really fine tune that scaling option. Next is what I call the rollout, which is kind of a derivative of a V-out. And it's actually, if you've ever used an ab wheel, it's kind of a similar stimulus as that, and it's really hard. All right, so bars are hanging directly underneath the anchor point, body's in a plank, arms are straight as I extend and roll out to this kind of Superman position, and then pull it back in. You're gonna feel it big time in your abs, especially that upper abdominal serratus area. And again, if that's a little too spicy, just walk forward and fine tune to where you're at. And so our last exercise, the classic row. And I really want to show how you can make these quite difficult with a very steep option. So I'm laying directly under the anchor point, bars are about at my fingertips, and when I do rows in this position, you're gonna feel every bit of it. Again, if you need to, just walk back a little bit more upright, shouldn't be a problem. Then again, you can fine tune that scaling option until you're right underneath it. So my challenge to you guys is get out or in, find that overhead setup spot. I want you to do 3 sets of 10 reps of each of these exercises. So you're gonna do a body saw, a tuck, a wild push-up, a mountain climber, a push-up, a rollout, and a row. So I would do 10 body saws, 10 tucks, 10 wild push-ups, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna do that 3 times. See how that overhead setup lets you fine tune the exercise, scale a little bit more, and see if it just lets you be a little bit wilder. So let us know how it goes. Monkii on.